call the matter of Wyman versus Wyman, case number 2020-8456 PP. If all parties and attorneys could please state their name and appearance for the record, starting with the prosecuting attorney, Mr. Almeida.
May it please the court, Rami Almeida, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney for the petitioner.
Morning, Your Honor. Lucy DeHaan from Kalamazoo Defender on behalf of Douglas Wyman, the respondent.
Good morning. And present by phone, do we have Kylie Wyman?
Yes.
And present by phone, do we have Doug Wyman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, everyone. Today's date and time set for a hearing, show cause about violation of the PPO. This matter is being done by remote technology due to decisions of the Supreme Court and Chief Judge. Contents of this video may be official record of a proceeding of the State of Michigan's 9th Judicial Circuit. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or alteration of said content is strictly prohibited. Today's date and time set for the hearings. We talked briefly with the attorneys, and they've talked with their clients. Counsel, where are we at with this matter?
Your Honor, I've spoken at length with Mr. Wyman about his options today. We are all and could run a full hearing if he so chooses. However, given the consideration to his options, he's decided today that he would like to just proceed with, in light of the court's likely direction it may go in terms of sentencing. I think he'd like to just enter a plea today and go forward with that.
You cut off on me there. You would like to enter a plea?
Yes, given he's considered his options fully and he wants to waive the hearing and enter a plea.
Mr. Almeida, any position on that?
No.
Okay. Then with that, Mr. Wyman, I'll have you raise your right hand and please let me know when you've done so.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your full name, spelling your first and last name for the record.
Douglas Wayne Wyman, D-O-U-G-L-A-S, last name W-Y-M-A-N.
Mr. Wyman, before I have your counsel ask you questions about the date of what allegedly happened on that day, you have the right to have a hearing. You do not have to plead. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead, you would not have a hearing of any kind. You would be giving up those rights. At the hearing, you would have the right to be presumed innocent. Prosecution would have the burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt for criminal contempt the allegations and beyond clear and convincing evidence for civil contempt. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You have the right to have witnesses appear on your behalf and cross-examine witnesses that appear against you. You have the right to have subpoenas done by the court if you choose to do so, and you have the right to testify if you choose to do that. If you plead today, you would not have any sort of trial, and we would go probably immediately today to a sentencing. Knowing all of this, have any promises or threats been made to have you do this today?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your choice to plead guilty today?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any substances in the last 24 hours that would confuse you?
No, sir.
And have you been able to understand the court and your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hahn, you may go and ask questions about his knowledge of the PPO and how he violated that.
Your Honor. Mr. Wyman, how do you know Kylie Wyman?
She's my wife. We're in the process of divorce.
It was your understanding that in December of 2020, Miss Wyman got a personal protection order protecting her from contact with you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that personal protection order was served upon you at some point?
Yes, actually, on two different occasions. It was read to me over an officer's radio, which I found out wasn't legal. And when I went into the actual clerk's office, they actually served it to me personally. Okay,
so you had knowledge of that personal protection order prior to March 28th of 2021?
Yes, I did. However, I was under the impression that it was taken care of. I was told that it was, it had been handled. She was supposed to have it extinguished, or however you put it.
Okay, I think you must be referring to termination. So at some point you believe that Miss Wyman was moving to terminate. However, you at no point attended any termination proceedings, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Were you present on March 28th of 2021? Were you present with Miss Wyman?
I was.
And on that date, did you engage in some type of assaultive behavior towards Miss Wyman?
That's what's being said. However, it's not the way it was told.
Well, and I think, we're not getting into the specifics of what happened because we're not running a hearing, but can you at least admit that there was some physical contact between you and Miss Wyman on that day and that
Yes.
she could have construed that contact as assaultive?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I believe that the testimony Mr. Wyman has given is sufficient.
Mr. Almeda, do you have any follow-up questions?
Mr. Wyman, did this happen in Kalamazoo County, Michigan?
Yes, sir, it did.
And did you know the PPO was still valid on March 28th, 2021?
I was under the impression that it was terminated, but like I told my attorney, I did not attend anything to tell me otherwise or receive any paperwork.
I'm going to leave it to the court's discretion if the court has more questions or how the court wants to handle it.
Mr. Wyman, did you assault her on that day, March 20th, 2021?
No.
Did you plead guilty to a domestic violence that occurred on that day?
I pled a no contest plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Wyman hasn't given me what we need. He has an answer for everything, and he seems to think he's not to blame at all. We'll do a hearing, but then all options are on the table. Do you want to talk to your client, Ms. DeHaan?
I'll talk with him briefly, Your Honor.
All right, we'll have you break out, and if he wants a trial, he can have a trial. But that is not much of a plea, and if he doesn't admit what he did wrong, we'll have a trial, no problem at all. But if he wants to take advantage of the plea, I need a lot more concrete than I was. Didn't know there was a PPO, and that's what's being told. That's kindergarten stuff. So I'll let you talk to him if he wants a hearing. We'll do a hearing.
Okay,
Mr. Almeda, do you have all your witnesses ready to go today for a hearing?
Yes.